Nick had two bald spots in Shaun of the Dead. One was that he shaved off all his pubic hair because he wanted Ed to be constantly scratching his nuts. This is true.
None of you guys are here to see me. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Pegg.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
It's good to see you, Steve.
You've been to cons all over the world. How many times have you been to Boston?
We came to Boston on the Shaun of the Dead press tour, the Hot Fuzz press tour, the World's End press tour, and we always had great screenings at the Brattle Theatre here, and the audiences were always great. And but the first time I ever came to Boston was in 1994. Who remembers that year?
You guys were famous, I believe, on Shaun of the Dead tour for flushing cakes down toilets.
That was on the Hot Fuzz tour.
I'm sorry, it was the Hot Fuzz tour. Did you destroy a toilet in Boston with a cake?
It was Nick's thing, flushing cakes. It was his birthday when we were doing the Hot Fuzz press tour, and people kept giving him birthday cakes. And because we didn't really have time to eat a whole cake in every town, Nick would flush the cake down the toilet to test the effectiveness of the American toilet flush system. And I can tell you, your toilets will flush any thing.
I'm just thinking about that. Okay, listen, obviously everyone in this room is a fan of you and Nick and Edgar and the work that you guys have done together. And every time I see you guys, I ask the exact same question. Who is writing something and when for you guys to work together again?
Well, Edgar is currently, I was literally just speaking to him 5 minutes ago. He's editing The Running Man, which is going to be absolutely amazing. As you probably know, it's not a remake of the Schwarzenegger film. It's more a kind of redo of the based on the book. And as soon as he finishes that, it's out in November. We're going to carve out some time to write something new.
Is that for sure?
If we can get Nick out of his f***ing Hagrid costume, yeah.
What's funny is I spoke to Nick about, Nick is playing Hagrid in the new Harry Potter series, and they're filming season 1 and 2 back to back, which is crazy. But what was your thoughts when you found out he was cast? Because it's a huge role, and it's awesome for him.
I was so happy for him. I found out a long time before it got announced and was sworn to secrecy, which was so difficult because I did actually tell my wife. He made me promise not to tell anybody, but I had to tell my wife Maureen because I was just bubbling with it. But yeah, I'm super happy. He looks incredible. He looks like Hagrid. I mean, you know, and I'm excited to see how it all turns out.
I'm not sure if you're a Harry Potter fan, but you've been in like every major franchise. So is Harry Potter on the list in terms of, I wouldn't mind doing a role?
I actually do play the role of Phineas Nigellus Black in the Harry Potter game.
Yes, but that's not like the TV or movie. It's a game. And by the way, that's cool.
Hey, that's not very nice to video games.
Hey. I'm saying it's cool to be in the game, but it's cooler to be on a TV show.
I don't know. At this point in my career, I think I would hesitate to join another franchise. I've been in a lot of franchises, and as much as I love Star Trek and Mission and one of the others, Ice Age, they take up a lot of time. Ice Age is nice because I go into the voice booth and I do 5 or 6 sessions and that's it. But like the last two missions were 5 years,
yeah.
You know, and I felt like I was a prisoner. You know, the weirdest thing is that when I went to see the first Mission Impossible in '96, and I think about myself sitting in the cinema watching that scene when Jean Reno drops his knife and it spins down and it sticks into the console where Don Lowe's working, not knowing that one day, and I apologize if you haven't seen Final Reckoning yet, that knife would be used to perform an aspiration on me because my lung is collapsing. And it's such a bizarre thing to think that that was in my future when I think about seeing that film for the first time, that actual knife would one day be inserted into me, if I can put it in such uncouth terms.
If you raise your, I'm curious, who has seen the most recent, the last Mission Impossible movie? So I want to be specific since a lot of people have seen it. That scene is in the third act, and you need to act while you have been stabbed and you're super hurt. And so what is it like as an actor to play a scene where you need to like try to mimic what it would be like if you had a collapsed lung and you were almost dying, and you're also trying to give instructions to the people around you to like save the world?
Yeah, it was. We had a medic on set who was there to advise me of what would be happening to me as my lung was collapsing and as it became harder and harder to draw breath. And Pom was doing the surgery, so she was getting tutored on that. What I really love about the ending of the film, and without giving away any spoilers, is that if you take a single member out of the team, out of that situation, the whole thing would have fallen apart. So every single person, and that's about 6 of us by that point, they all have a job that they're doing. And it really, for me, summed up the whole kind of team nature of Mission Impossible. And McHugh's great at that kind of, that sort of circular writing.
So I'm so curious about this. Tom Cruise he's inhuman. He is amazing. I have nothing but holy fuck. Like, I'm so impressed by what he has done in these Mission Impossible movies. But some of these stunts are really dangerous and very serious. What is it like on set when you're watching a friend and Tom Cruise do these incredible stunts? Is there like a moment is there anybody who's just like, I love you, just in case? Do you know what I mean? Like, because you never know.
It can be very nerve-wracking. I remember once Rebecca and I we were in New Zealand, and we were just having a coffee, chatting with each other, and Tom was doing the scene in Fallout when he's hanging from the helicopter, and nobody had told us that he was going to fall onto the bag that was underneath the helicopter. And Rebecca and I were just sort of talking, and Tom was doing his thing. You get used to it. And we both kind of looked up, and he fell, and we both kind of went, Tom's dead! But yeah, it gets kind of scary. It's nice when you see him sitting off set, and he's just in his chair, and he's taken off his face, and it's just the lizard. It's great to see him in his normal, seeing himself,
We're here at FAN EXPO Boston. A lot of people here collect things. Is there anything that you collect or has previously collected?
I collect action figures of me. When I was a kid, I used to collect Star Wars figures, as many people did. And I still remember the joy of like getting a new, when the new series came out, when Empire came out and the new ones came out, and then Return of the Jedi came out, and there were all this. And so when I finally got my Unkar Plutt action figure, it felt like it was another one of those crazy moments, But I do try and get all of the little effigies that come out.
Do they send them to you, or do you have to actually go buy them?
Sometimes I get sent them. Sometimes I have to find them and buy them myself.
What is it like? Do you buy them online, or do you actually go to the store and you're like, yeah, it's me, I know?
I did go into a comic book shop in Cardiff, and I bought the Shaun of the Dead Funko Pop that came out with the game, the Fusion game. And the guy in the shop was really surprised that I was buying myself.
Yeah. You've been in so many cool things, but there's going to be people out there who have never seen anything you've done. What is the first thing you'd like them watching, and why?
I would probably say Shaun of the Dead, just because it was mine and Edgar's first film together, and it started off, a collaboration, a film collaboration. We'd worked together in television 3 times before.
You should plug Spaced.
Yeah, Not Least on Spaced, which is our first our sitcom, which was kind of all about people like us. Tim, my character, worked in a comic book shop, and he was very much a fan. I charted his whole kind of relationship with Star Wars over the 2 series, because the first series came out in 1999, and then I went to New York to see The Phantom Menace, because it's 16 years I've been waiting for a new Star Wars film, and I hated it. So,
can I ask you a question?
That's just in case Ewan can hear me, and Hayden. they're here.
And I'm not sure if you had the same reaction or was it in the theater. I remember watching Phantom Menace in the theater, and I was convinced there was something wrong with me, that I was not getting the movie. And the movie was obviously amazing. I just wasn't getting it. And I kept watching it to try to figure out why I wasn't getting it. And eventually realized, oh no, it's not me. It's meant for like little kids, whatever. At any point, did you think it was you not getting it, or immediately you know, this is not good?
That's what I said when I broke up with Star Wars. I said, it's not you, it's me. I think I went to see it twice. I went back the next day to make sure. And then I went to see The Matrix. And that made me feel how I wanted to feel when I saw The Phantom Menace, you know? But I'd aged out a bit of it, I guess. Like Steve said, it was aimed at a different... I know it's having a wonderful resurgence. And I'm far more philosophical about it now. I feel like, you know, so what? It's just a film. People love it, and love it with all your joy in your heart, you know. That's what being a fan is about. It's about accepting what you love and accepting things that other people love that you don't love. I think it's, you know, we're a community, and I think that's how a community exists.
Again, you've been in so many things. What shot or sequence has been the toughest for you to film, and why?
When I was shooting the car chase in Rogue Nation, I was so terrified that I couldn't act. And Tom kept shouting at me, say more stuff, say more stuff. And I was just like, I can't speak. And also he would put on my seat heater when I wasn't looking, and we were in Casablanca in Morocco. So I'd be sitting in the chair getting all sweaty. And it was because he's a very cheeky boy. He would activate my seat heater. So then I started doing it to him. So when you watch Rogue Nation and you watch that car chase, all the time, me and him are just having a seat heater fight. There's a little bit of meta detail for you there.
I had no idea.
I actually got some black tape. He went for a piss, and I got some black tape, not in the car. I mean, he left the car and he went for a piss. And because he does, Tom Cruise pisses. There you go, you heard it here first. That'll be all over the internet tomorrow. And I got some tape off one of the camera crew, and I put it over the lights on his seat heater so he couldn't see that it was on. That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
How did you get involved with Sigourney Weaver for Paul? Or how did she get involved in that project?
I wish I was involved with Sigourney Weaver. I had a huge crush on her when I was younger. I used to write poetry about her. I told her about that as well. We just shot for the moon, you know. When Nick and I were writing Paul, we just thought, wouldn't it be amazing if we got Sigourney to be in this movie, you know? And she read the script and she loved it, and we had the best time with her. She was so much fun. Blythe Danner had to say the line, "Get away from her, you bitch," to Sigourney. And Blythe was like, I don't know how to say this. And Sigourney literally went, it's like this. And she did it for me, and Nick and I were just like, you know? She's wonderful, such a good sport and a beautiful human being.
Hi, Simon.
Hi.
So I know there was some rumors a little while ago about a Star Trek film written by Quentin Tarantino, and that you may or may not have had your hands on the script, and I was just kind of curious as to what that was.
That was what we call in the business batshit crazy. It was everything you would expect a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek script to be.
Wait, I got to pause. Did you actually read it?
I didn't read it, but it was described to me.
Oh, so someone told you the whole thing?
Yeah, Lindsay, our producer, and J.J. Abrams had read it as well. That would have been amazing. I think it would have been such an incredible sort of curio to see Star Trek through his lens. I don't know how it would have gone over with the fans, but it certainly would have been an interesting thing. I'm hoping now that David Ellison is now high up at Paramount. Now the merger's happened, and David's always been a big supporter of the Kelvin timeline, so who knows? Maybe we'll get to make another one.
I was just curious, in Shaun of the Dead, Nick has a bald spot on his head. Is there a story behind that never got included in the movie?
No, there are two. Nick had two bald spots in Shaun of the Dead. One was that he shaved off all his pubic hair because he wanted Ed to be constantly scratching his nuts. This is true. And then the thing in his hair was, Nick and I were watching a lot of Jackass at the time. We lived together in this flat, and we'd stay up all night smoking bifters and watching Jackass. And one of the pranks they played in Jackass was they'd shave off bits of each other's hair. And Nick just had this idea that one of Ed's friends had done that to him. It's never mentioned. We never make any reference to it whatsoever. It was just Nick being method.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a story I did not know.
Yeah.
Especially about the nether region.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very proud of that.
Right.
Hi, Simon.
Hi.
I admire your work, especially the Ice Age movies. My question is it more fun to do voiceover, or is it more fun doing live action films?
They're very different, actually. Doing voice work is surprisingly tiring because you're channeling your whole performance into your vocal kind of range, you know. And they do film you when you're doing the voice work, so they can use your expressions as reference for the characters. But it's a really, you do about 4 hours, I guess, at a time. And I love playing Buck. He's one of my favorite characters. He's just such a ball of energy. In the new film, I get to do some really fun stuff, which has been really great to record. When you do a live action film, it's a completely different process. So it's kind of hard to compare them in a way, you know. I love them both. I think I probably prefer being on camera most because I'm vain. But the voice work stuff is fun, and I really enjoy playing Ice Age. I'm glad to hear you like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just have to ask real quick, I don't know if they've announced it, what's the new Ice Age about?
I don't think I can say, but it's about a group of animals in a time before history.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Right over here.
Sorry, I didn't know they were making a new Ice Age. That shocked me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Minor spoilers for The Boys season 4. What was it like sitting inside a human body? Just curious, and just standing in that.
The great thing about the Boys season 4 for me was the first 3 or 4 episodes I was in a coma, so I literally just had to sleep. And I would literally fall on sleep. I remember Jack and Erin Moriarty were doing a scene with Starlight and Huey in the hospital, and I slept through the whole thing. I got woken up by cut, and but then getting to do that whole sequence when Hugh wakes up, and that was a lot of fun. I mean, it was gruesome and it was heartbreaking, but it was, you know, it was challenging. You want to be challenged as an actor, and that for me was a really worthwhile experience.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Pegg.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.